y'all, what's going on? It's Barb Meets World, and I am joined by the loveliest of lovely guests. My good sis, California Cutie, is here, y'all.
The crowd goes wild, and the crowd goes wild. Woo!
I'm hearing right now. Yeah, y'all, and you already know, based on the title, we're talking about The Real Housewives of Atlanta's season 16, episode 15, which is chapter 3, Rebirth. Yes, we're still in Grenada. We actually wrap up the Grenada trip this episode, y'all. So we're going to get into all of those things. But before we do all that, you already know we need to do a couple things for us, which include liking the video, because we are streaming from both of our channels. So go ahead, hit the like button on both of our channels. Also, if you're not a subscriber to me, but you're a subscriber to my sis, then come over here and subscribe to me, and vice versa. If you are subscribed to me but not subscribed to her, go ahead, hit the subscription button over there. And if you're not subscribed to either of us, hit both subscription buttons. How about that? And keep the conversation going in the comments section, because we would love hearing from you guys what you thought of the episode, as well as our commentary, and share us with all of your folks. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload, because we do upload and we don't want you to miss it. Duh. So anyway,
hello.
Throw of this manner. Like I was telling you, this episode at first I was like, it didn't really give a lot, but once I watched it again, I was like, okay, there is a couple things that I wanted to talk about, and there's like something major I feel like that we didn't even talk about last week that I was like, oh my god, I can't believe we forgot about that, because it was like the most major part of the episode that I wanted to talk about. So
okay.
We got to talk about that.
I was drinking wine. I was drinking wine last week. That's my mouth. I got agua.
Like, I don't know. I just forgot. I guess, y'all. I'm sorry. So we're gonna talk about it today. But anyway, there is 9 people watching collectively. As you guys come on into the room, make sure again you do like the videos, subscribe, comment, do all the things, share us, and let us know what you guys thought of the episode in the live chat. If you're watching on X, come on over to YouTube and subscribe. Join in on the conversation.
Yes.
What did you think about the episode, though?
I, like you, well, you know what? I fell asleep on a little bit of it, so I had to rewatch it. And then my Peacock subscription had it had expired. Well, really, I had lost my Cash App card, which is how I pay for that, right? And so I had to go get another card and everything. And so the payment wasn't made. So I did that today, and I rewatched it because I fell asleep a little bit on the Grenada when they went, to the jab. Is that what it's called? Jab. And so when they went there, I had to rewatch that scene. But all in all, there were some things that like you said, that wasn't so much that it was the best show, but that there was some things where it's like, oh, okay, I see a little bit of something happening right here. So I can't wait to get into those little discussions and things. But all in all, I would give this episode for I just wish they would have had the camaraderie a little earlier when they first got there. Those eyeballs. I wish they was having a good time and not being, I guess their good time is turning up and then getting freaky with each other. I mean, I know when me, you, and shout out to Nola Reese, when we went to New Orleans, I don't recall ever. I got drunk. You got drunk. You don't really drink, so you didn't really get drunk. But you know what I mean? Nola, we was drunk, but I never had you like flip over and bend over and slap your butt, and I didn't do that type of stuff with you. Or my other sister, and she got a big old butt. With the time, she had a big old butt. So what I'm saying is, their turn up is a little different. So I'm sure we'll get to that. So I'm sure, there'd be plenty to talk about. But what I'm saying is, at least everybody put their to the side and tried to turn up and get as turned as they could get. So that's the part I kind of like when they go on their trips, of course, of where they're staying and all that stuff. But I feel like even Andy, I remember Andy saying on Watch What Happens Live. Did I say that right for the first time? I
You did.
always
You did.
look at me. I always mess it up. But anyway, I remember hearing Andy say that on his show. He was like, "Yeah, this is like one of the best trips." And I was like, "Oh, so I'm looking for the turn up. I'm looking for the turn up. I'm looking for what's about to be so, I was just like, wah, wah, wah." So with that being said, I'm going to say that this was a nice 6.5.
Yeah, I share in that sentiment.
I put the 0.5 on there because I rewatched it.
And again, shout outs to everybody on X, because I'm pretty sure I said this while I was watching it. I was just like, yeah, so everybody made it seem like this was going to be the trip of all trips. And I'm still waiting for the rest of it, but apparently it's over. So I guess I'm just gonna have to sit over here and be underwhelmed. Yeah. And again, because I actually watched Carlos, him, Claudia, I watched their video, everything, and Dustin, but
I did too.
You know how he's always talking about there needs to be like a force multiplier, and there needs to be like this big bang that happens, and all those things. And I feel like we poke fun, and Carlos has his ways, but I definitely agree with him on that, where it's like, okay, this trip, there was no big like bang moment. Like there was all this chatter that led up to other things and side conversations and one-on-one conversations, stuff like that, but we didn't have that one culminating like, whoa, like, and because we also, if you guys don't know, obviously we cover Salt Lake City as well. And just think about the bombshells that were dropped on those trips, and the like, oh my gosh, like big wow moment that didn't happen here for me. So
wait, I'm gonna say that's because Kenya's not here.
She's the fourth
player. And there it is there. Yeah,
if anything, we're saying that her presence isn't felt, or her absence isn't felt. They're still saying like, oh, it's a great show without her. I definitely did say something to somebody when I was watching an episode, and I saw that come across my screen. I was like, are we watching the same show? Or they didn't respond back. But I'm like, watching a different show, because there is something missing. And for people to say that there's not, I'm sorry, but, and it's not to, again, diminish what Kenya did, because we can agree that she shouldn't have taken it there, of course. But that still doesn't outweigh the fact that she was, the most seasoned one up there. She was somebody who can, push a scene and to where it needs to go, to make moments happen, and all the things, and to really bring it home. So for people to say like, oh no, we don't need her, like, see, it's so great without her, she don't need to come back, I can only just think that you guys are saying that because you genuinely just don't like her, because come on now.
Yeah. There's no way that you can say this season survived. The show must, like they say, the show must go on, and it did. But that's what it did. It just went on. It didn't. Ain't nobody flocking to see what happened. And the only reason why we were flocking is, like I said, Andy was pumping it up like this is one of the best trips in a long time. And so I'm thinking, okay, let's check it out. But it really fell flat. No disrespect to Grenada, though. Grenada is, I would have never knew about that place. So, I like when they take us to places I've never heard of or seen. And, I'm not good with geography and stuff. I'm just not. So it was cool to see that kind of thing. And then here's the other thing I thought about, in the news. And we might touch on it a little later, but in the news, Simon and Porsha went to their divorce hearing and everything, and her what is that called? Her income came up.
Mm-hmm.
Her income came up, correct? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking about the fact that they said that she was making like what 1.6
To 2
on
million.
I think the 2 million they're adding that in with her Dish Nation, but literally I think for sure she would have been making more. Don't get me wrong, don't give me the line. I ain't been in her pockets. However, she was not over more money than Kenya. And so I feel like that's why they were so willing to let Kenya go, because they wanted to dish out more money, because what was Kenya getting paid? Porsha was getting paid that. And Kenya always brought it. You know what I'm saying? So I just think like, dang, we literally, and even on Kenya's podcast, shout out to her YouTube channel. She's just so good on that. It's edited so nicely. It's just
Yeah.
you guys got to be kicking yourselves in the butt. And now you got this $20 million lawsuit on you for somebody that you kicked off the show for. You literally
allegedly wasn't her.
And that we'll definitely have to get into that, because that doesn't even make sense. But especially because remember her, and she was, her job looked into it and she was investigated, and girl, you and the winner is the envelope, because girl, your acting skills are horrible. You a Tubi actor, but I
can't even do that much because no,
it's a mess. It's a mess. So yeah, we need Kenya back. We want Kenya more of Kenya more, like literally. And me and Barb, if y'all don't know, we wasn't the biggest fans of Kenya for all the seasons that she been on. I became a fan. Now, fan of Kenya more, period. Yes. Fan of Kenya more on the show? No. When she became a mother is when I was like, okay, good, she got grounded, because I knew it was coming. I've been a mother for a long time, and so I knew when that happened, too bad that all the other stuff had to go along with it with her ex-husband. But literally, I was like, that's gonna change her whole molecular structure for sure, and it did. And so that's why she became likable for me. Why I like her, and we're missing her. She would have brought so much more to the trip. So much more.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the ratings went up a little bit, but still not. I'm still not going to ever attribute that to Phaedra's her reprisal. Like, absolutely not. But they did go up according to TV Deeds. Shout out to TV Deeds. And shout outs to Princess, who is sitting in the back. Hey, Princess.
Hey, Princess. Happy belated birthday, Gemini girl.
Yes. But let's get into the episode, y'all. So, as I said before, we're still in Grenada on this trip. And apparently it turned into a whole situation once the previous episode concluded. So much so that Phaedra says that she might have gotten Cynthia pregnant, or Cynthia might have even gotten her pregnant. But there was a lot of twerking going on. There was a lot of alcohol being drank, I'm pretty sure. There was, they were in the pool. There was a lot of cheeks clapping and doing all the things, y'all. So yeah, it seems as though, as we said last week, we left on a sour note with Shamea receiving some bad news about what was going on back home with her child and everything. But spirits have been lifted, and I don't know if that means because I'll save that. Anyway, but the next morning we see Angela and Drew, and they're recapping from the previous night, saying how much fun it was. Everybody was getting along. They were able to kind of like table all the issues and really just enjoy each other and really just come together under this umbrella of sisterhood and all that. Y'all know they love to label everything as sisterhood, even though that's the last thing that it ever gives. Nonetheless, Angela did say that she was skeptical that they could even have that level of fun based on all the drama that has transpired throughout the season. But anyway, then Angela goes on to say, while Shamea was going through it and Brit was lending her support and everything, she accidentally looked over at Drew, and Drew's face was all types of screwed up because she was not buying that bad. We were just talking about acting and bad acting and Tubi and all that. Yeah. So I guess that's what Brit was giving. That's what I picked up from her, when she went on her whole spiel about how she's always going to be there for Shamea and she loves her and she's got her back and just Ooh, Shamea. Anyway, Angela also talks about how she was taken aback by the energy between Kelli and Brit. Everybody's starting to notice, okay, you guys are saying you guys are besties, but that's not entirely what it's giving. And Drew actually picked up on it the first night at dinner when Kelli didn't say a word when Brit and Shamea, when Brit was like going back and forth and getting into it and everything. She didn't come to her best friend's defense. She was over there on mute. And that's just very interesting because when the roles are reversed and it was like Angela and everything, Kelli had so much to say. But when it's your supposed best friend, you're not coming to her defense. You're not speaking up. You're not saying anything. Interesting. Moving right along, though, to Shamea. So, again, going back to last week, Gerald had called her, said that the baby's room, everything was super cold. The baby was freezing. She didn't have no covers on her. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Fast forward to this week, y'all. And Shamea's mom, they're on FaceTime or whatever. She says that she had came over earlier and she was still freezing. It took her over an hour to warm her up using like her own body heat and stuff. She doesn't have a fever right now, though, thankfully. And then meanwhile, the nurse apparently was all types of bundled up and everything. She had, a North Face on and some galoshes, apparently, I guess, according to her mother. This is what we'll just pause right here because this is actually what I wanted to talk about last week. I feel like we didn't spend enough time on this, and I had a lot to say. I had a lot to say because, okay, and I'll just ask you now, do you feel as though, are you on the side of Gerald called on purpose, knowing he's about to ruin his wife's trip, blah, blah, blah? Or do you think he was just calling just to keep her informed? Do you think he had it under control? Like, what is your take on that whole thing? Because I feel like on one hand, I want to trust that that's not the case. I want to trust that Shamea has been telling the truth when she says that Gerald has always been supportive of her wanting to be on the show, but he just didn't necessarily want to be in the spotlight and just been super supportive and et cetera, et cetera. And I want to believe that, but I feel like we've been hearing and seeing things that can make me think otherwise, that can make me think, is y'all's dynamic, is everything copacetic up underneath it all? Because he did call you before, in my opinion, things were under control. He called you knowing how, his wife is and stuff like that, and knowing that this is something that possibly would easily upset her on this girls trip that she very much needs right now because of all the things that she's juggling, some self-induced, some not.
Right.
Maybe you could have not called her right then and there, and maybe you could have just handled it and then shot her a text or called her after that to let her know, like, hey, I have it under control. This is what happened. Because even him saying like, oh, the nurse, like, we need to like get a new nurse, or she calls somebody else, however he put it, that tells me again, like, okay, you're also the parent. You could have handled that right then and there. It was almost like I always feel weird when it gives I'm babysitting my kid, because you should never be babysitting your kid. Your kid is your kid, and it's not called babysitting, it's called parenting at that point. And it just doesn't seem like that's really the case there. So what do you
There's
think?
a couple. You touched on a couple of things I kind of agree with. For one, if the baby is sick and you have to take the baby to the hospital, that's one thing. That's a phone call. Let's be clear. That's more of an emergency. I'm taking the baby to the hospital. If you have it under control and your spouse, in this case his wife, is on a trip, let her call you, because you have it under control. So when she goes to call you and you say, Shia, is that Shia? Which one is it? Shiloh. Shiloh, she had caught a fever. She was left in a cold room, and then you give Shamea the opportunity to say to you, you know what, call me if something like that happens again. You know what I'm saying? Give her the opportunity to tell you that it's don't ever leave me out of something like that. Maybe she's told him that. We don't know. But as you said, maybe he was just mad. Maybe he was pissed off at her and he needed to vent. Because it sounded more like a vent more than it was so much that the baby is not under control. He had already gave her the Tylenol.
But you can't vent to an interested you can't vent to an interested party, though. That's the issue. You can't vent to the other parent, because they're like, you can't just be like, oh my God, like they also share that responsibility. So it's no longer venting. It's now we're sharing the issue. Now it becomes my business to put what I got going on to the side, which is not an issue, because ultimately, no. You should be able to snap too when something goes on with your kid, no matter if you're on a trip or not, or whatever. Like that goes without saying. But that was weird. That was weird. But keep going.
So I just wish he would have waited for her to call if it wasn't as severe, since it wasn't that severe and he had it under control. Now, if he gave her the Tylenol and her fever didn't break, and Shamea hadn't checked in with him, yeah, you should have phone call. But like you said, your wife, it's just going to make her upset. She's going to, I'm not going to say overreact, because a sick child, there's no overreact, but she's going to get very sensitive, and knowing that she can't get there. And so now you got her thinking about the States when she's not in the States. And that's just weird when she's trying to put her shoulders down. Like, I'm trying to put my shoulders down.
In 48 hours, like it hadn't even been like that long at that point again. And it's also strange because it's like, one, why is the house that cold? You guys should, like, aren't you the HVAC guy? Like, huh? That doesn't even seem like something that should be in the nurse's scope of duties, like to regulate the house temperature. Like, that's kind of strange anyway. And then two, when the mom called, like, she's like, yeah, I came earlier or whatever, but it's daylight now. Like, it's the next morning. So why was it still cold? It still wasn't under control when the mom got there then? So I was confused about the timeline of when all this occurred.
I did hear, I don't know who I was watching, but they were saying how, hospitals are cold. They keep the temperature kind of cool in there and everything. My thing is, then just put 2 sleepers on her. Because like babies kick blankets off. My kids, none of my kids like blankets. But if you want them to stay warm, then you need to put them on something warm that's going to keep them, a sleeper. Something that covers the whole body, feet included. And now the baby's warm. She come out that cover if she want to. It is weird that the nurse would have to be under a heat blanket or any type of blanket, a hat, galoshes, like you said. Why are you not going to your boss? Why are you not going to your boss and saying, hello, excuse me? Me and the babies both are, I'm scared to read it. Me and the baby both are freezing.
No, because I don't know why I said that, but
and what's funny, I haven't heard that word since Greece. They use that word. I heard that word in Greece. Greece too. Galactus. And so when you said it, you took me out. That's why I said, let me use it again because that's a good one, honey. But literally, I'm just trying to understand why we both freezing. Why you can't go tell Gerald? And then
no. You just scared me with that because I thought you were talking about like us. I was like, I'm frozen. Like, keep going.
No, Goofy, no. I'm saying, why didn't the nurse go and tell him that we're both freezing here? Hey, my daughter. Hey, beautiful cakes. I'm just. Oh, hello. Yeah, we whooping. So that's my thing is we have two dynamics going on. Why did hey
Kevin?
Thank you for joining us. You know we love when you in chat.
I do.
That's mad if he hadn't told her. Okay, exactly. That's why I said that. I said it could be either way.
Like,
but you
tell her, of course. Mm-hmm. But the difference between me, literally, the house is on fire. It is currently up in flames, and I'm calling you. There's a difference between me calling you like that, and the house is no longer under fire. It's completely out, and now I'm calling you to let you know that I've already called fire. We had a fire. We are in temporary lodging. Like, there's a difference of he called her right in the middle of it still occurring, which tells me are you as hands-on as you should be or not? Or do you want her time or do you not? Because she's always saying this stuff about, want to give him a son and da 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 da. And it's just like, is he as nice and respectful and as Prince Charming as you're making it seem, or are you just making it seem that way? And no, he is still trying to put the weight of another child on your shoulders. He's still calling you while you're away or whatever because your happiness and your fun is not as important as anything else. Like, I don't know. We don't hear enough from him. We don't see enough of them even together for us to really close that circle, I feel like, on whether or not it's happening one way versus the other. I'm skeptical.
Oh, my son just texted me to ask me did I want some food because he's cooking hamburgers and fries for dinner tonight.
Okay,
right. My kids have stepped it up, because I just started a new job and stuff. So and they already know they know I work hard anyway with doing braids, and this is my season as well. They just all been stepping it up. Michael Lee's birthday. Shout out to Michael Lee. His birthday is Sunday. He'll be 18. So another adult in the house. My God.
Happy birthday.
Right? Happy birthday to my son. That's right. So
she and then Shamea used the word swaddle. Why did she use the word swaddle? Or was she just
over one?
Was she just maybe saying it just as a general term?
Warmed her, yeah. I think she is using it as a general term. Yeah, but swaddle sounds like a infant.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like,
he's talking about a baby that's over one. Remember, you'd already had a birthday party.
Her words, not mine.
Well, you didn't have a birthday party, but she turned one. Hello. That's what we were saying. That's what we were saying earlier, Kev. We don't understand how specifically how Andy was like, this was one of the best trips. You rated episode 5. I gave it a 6, and I gave it a 0.5 only because when I rewatched it, I was just some things that I want to talk about. But literally, it felt very, 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 very flat. Yes, I did. Yes, it's cool too. Because I still set my own schedule. And I can work when I want to. So I very much enjoy it. And I get paid weekly, just like I get paid on my other job when I do the job. Even so, I mean, it's exciting. So the other kids have been stepping it up, and I love it. My daughter's just sidebar, just to finish that little conversation. My Nani Cakes is she been making sure the house is clean like a little old woman. at this kid. She cleaned up. They acting like me. And then like I said, my son is down there cooking. And then the youngest still being the youngest. And he gets talked about, but me ain't gonna say nothing. He's probably gonna be in this live in a second, like, Mommy, really? So anyway, getting back to these ladies, if you will. Using that very loosely. Yeah, I just feel like you could have just waited. You had it under the control. You gave her the Tylenol. If you were mad about the lady, then call her boss. And what they said that she works for. I don't know if she works. If they for agency. Yeah. Call the agency. Get her out of there. Shamea calls you, babe. Let me tell you what kind of day I had. And then I had to fire old girl and She had the baby was cold. Baby, your mom even had to come over here. Baby, this is what happened, but I got it all under control. Oh, wow, thanks. Gerald, this is why I love you. Boom, that's the end of it. Like all this, call me during, bruh, don't do that because ain't nothing like being out and with your girls. Even if you just out for the night and you get a phone call from the person that's the other half of the kid and they in there talking about the baby won't stop crying. Then get up and rock the baby. Go get in the car and go take your baby in the car and go drive the baby around. I don't care. Get off my line. Get off my line. Don't do that. So for him to do that while she's where she's at is crazy. And all the money they have and all the nurses and this and the doctors and that and a mama and a like literally it's too much. And I feel like
I get confused by that. Like it's like, oh, I got a village, everybody help, so whatever. But then you're still over here like drowning and talking about you want another baby though at the same time. But like you have all these, you're spread thin. But then you also still like your family's so helpful. So she's
all over the place
with everything.
Why the rush on the baby? If you're not even going to carry the baby, you're going to get a surrogate, correct? So if you're going to get a surrogate, it ain't like your time clock is moving.
Have like a huge gap.
Okay, I got you, but this baby has special needs, so at least give the baby at least a 4-year gap, a 4 to 5 year gap, so this baby can get all the attention that Gerald wants the baby to have. So that baby gets all the attention it needs, and so that you guys can get on a regular schedule. How this baby gonna go to school and all these other things. Babies grow up. Having babies is cool and everything, but the baby's only a baby for like really 9 months, not even 12. Like when they get up and start walking, and some babies start walking at 9, bro, that's it. You got an adult in your house. You might as well get ready. Yeah. Like literally.
That's true. I think I didn't really put a number on it as much as I've just thought like in general, it's not the right time, obviously. Like you have too many things going on. I'm very much like you know when it's the time to do certain stuff in life. And something tells me like she intuitively knows, like her gut is telling her, like, girl, it's not time right now for that. If you're going through all the issues, like she said, they collected a sample. Whatever they did failed with the one surrogate or whatever, I guess right now. So that's like that should tell her like, maybe if all these things are not happening how I would like them to happen, maybe that's the universe telling me it is not time to do said thing. But for some odd reason, it's all gas, no brakes because your husband wants, a son.
Well, keep my husband out of it.
Keep my husband out of it. Like, exactly. Like, you're not miss me with that. Like,
please miss everybody with it, please.
On another note, as much as I am not a fan of Marlo, she's a better fit with the current cast of RHOA.
Literally, you're right. I think you're right.
She needs to be. I have no issues. I can never take anything away. Just like we were talking about with Kenya, I can never take away with Marlo the fact that she was the best friend on this show since inception. And yeah, I do think that probably would be a better fit. As much as I do like seeing Cynthia and stuff, nothing against her, but I definitely
nothing. She gave absolute nothing other than child. Okay, girl. And then
I didn't know what happened. Or like just saying stuff that it's like, no, Cynthia, that don't make no sense. You know how Porsha gets down. You know how this person gets down. Like, she kept saying stuff that was like, girl.
It was weird. And as far as Marlo is concerned, hey, my sis. And so literally Marlo standing next to what Tinkerbell, Strawberry Shortcake, the gnome, all the words, the names that the other shorty doo-wop is calling her. Because girl, let's be clear, just because you wear heels all day long, every day, don't mean that you are tall. Okay, you and your fake height. She's so short. She's so little. She's so big. Girl, so are you. You're little too. Your legs are short. Girl, what are you talking about? I watched her watching her walk away. Her heels were like this big. I said, girl, that's why you think you towering over a little bit? Girl, stop. Stop doing that. Stop trying to call her short when you just as little as she is. And nothing wrong with it, because I've always wanted to be shorter. I'm 5'6.5". I was 5'7". You know, now that I'm in my
it's like I felt like I'm my limbs.
my limbs are long.
Like I'm supposed to be taller than I am, but I'm not. I just stopped growing. I don't
I can see what you're saying. I
equate
that to model features.
I've really long arms, like my feet, like everything is like I'm supposed to be taller, but I'm not. And so I either want to always be taller or shorter. Like I feel like I'm right in the middle. Like, come on, pick one. Either I should be taller.
Yeah, Phaedra's too much. And it's getting old. Like every time she sees her, she says that. It's different if it was a term of endearment, or this is your little nickname you call her. You know, if you were just calling her one name and it was cute, different. But you keep the gnome, Tinkerbell, Strawberry Shortcake. I'm like, girl,
garden gnome.
She grown. She grown. That's a grown woman.
That's that weird stuff. And shout out to Bondi, because I feel like she's the one that really breaks it down for what it is. Like Phaedra's a weirdo, and the comments on other people's body, not even just from her to Kelli, but also from her to Brit. Like just the stuff she's saying, y'all, and the way that she like positions herself. I feel like y'all got to really read between the lines. All y'all like Phaedra stands and stuff like that. I don't understand why you guys go up for her, because it doesn't give funny or shady or anything like that as much as it gives weird shady. Like something is up with her, and I wouldn't want to party with her if I was.
Yeah, she gives.
I want to say predator because I don't want to like label.
I don't want to use that word either. I was going to say like I actually was trying to use like.
What's the step under?
This might sound even weirder. She giving the Hansel and Gretel, the person that grabbed, like
it is. That's what it is.
Just never thought that she would be this type of person.
Like the one that does the scouting for the pimp or like whatever. Like that's what she gives based on these things that she's like saying about them and their features, and just like, I just want to lock you up in my basement. What?
Don't say that about me. What that mean? I would have asked her. What? I hope they ask her.
The best way to explain it is to say that she is exactly the way that they try to say Candy is. That's secretly actually Phaedra.
That's the other thing. So she's been projecting all this time, but we'll get there. That's the takeaway from Phaedra that I learned this season, is that she is literally a projector. The things that she says about people, just like calling her a gnome and all that's you, girl. You know that you're short, and you're happy somebody's shorter than you, but you're giving her what other people gave you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, the pup. It's the puppy.
I did. It was good, y'all. Yeah, no, I agree. But after that, y'all, speaking of Phaedra, her, Porsha, Cynthia, they're all in the room together. Ha ha, he. And she labels Angela at, actually, sorry. One last thing about the Shamea and her family issues. I don't think there's anything wrong with the fact that she didn't leave. I don't think that that was an issue at all. A lot of people were like saying that, she should have left, and like she's a bad mom and yada yada yada. I don't feel like that's I don't agree with that at all.
Like I said, the baby had a fever. The room was cold. What are we talking about? Why would she need to leave?
It was
that baby was okay. Oh yeah, she got underlying things, and yeah, she might catch a cold. She might. Hopefully, she don't. And when he found out, when he talked to her, you hadn't put some clothes on, or a sweatsuit on, or something. You didn't put nothing on the baby because the mom came in later and the baby still didn't have nothing. And she said, I would have warmed the baby up. So what? I don't. It's not making sense. So the more I talk about it, it's making me more and more mad.
Actually, the more we talk about it, it makes less sense because I'm really trying to figure out what he did between the time of calling Shamea and the time the mom showed up.
Unless you know how production sometimes they film stuff different out of order. But
it was daylight when she was talking to her mom. It was the night.
Yes, it was the next morning. It felt like
they're on the same time zone.
No. Let's no. I'm gonna tell you why. Well, this is it was the slip of the tongue, or when she said, yeah, I had a hard time last night. So it wasn't the night of Grenada, because it was the night when Brit Titty popped her boobs out because she said I had a hard night that night. It was the same night he called.
Yeah, that was the night before.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right, because I'm thinking it was after the Grenada thing, but literally it was that next morning, and she said I had a hard time last night, and that's the night that he called. Yeah,
I don't know what time she called her mom, but her mom.
But the thing is, we don't know what time it is in Grenada. We don't know the time.
Grenada and Atlanta are on the same time zone.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like there was a minimum of 6 hours, a minimum of 6 hours. That the situation, the situation was not handled. The girl, she was still cold. So what did you do, Gerald? I'm confused. Someone better clarify that. I'm so mad that we didn't see this episode before. Andy asked for questions. I would have definitely been like, Shamea, please break down this timeline of how everything occurred with the baby being cold. It's not working for me. Anyway, y'all, Phaedra, Porsha, Cynthia, they are all talking, and again, Phaedra decides to say that Angela gives her math teacher vibes when in all actuality, Phaedra, you were giving home ec teacher vibes when you first came on the show, but whatever. Porsha was talking about how Brit just kept going and going in regards to everything that was being discussed between Shamea and her and Brit. And Phaedra, she's like, oh, I got some tea to spill. And what she says is that apparently Kelli doesn't want her glam team to work with Brit. And Porsha, Cynthia, everybody's like, confused about that, because once again, these ladies are supposed to be best friends. Why wouldn't you want your best friend to work with your team? Like, what's up with that? And Porsha's like, what? If they're not best friends, then I don't know who is. Well, we know it's not you and Shamea, that's for damn sure. But she's just lost. And then we also find out, or we get the flashback from 2 months prior when Kelli volunteered her glam squad services to Brit because she was, having a hard time, and she don't have her own team at that point in time. So she lent out their services then. But fast forward to now, that's apparently not the case. She doesn't want them working with her, and we'll get more into that in the next scene. But for now, going back to Phaedra being weird, then she starts talking about Brit's inverted nipple. See, like, and Shamea. No, I already said that. Anyway. Shamea was paying. Porsha also says that they speak at the same time, Kelli and Brit, and how she also held Brit accountable for the donation. So is there like a jealousy problem? Like she's not really understanding what is supposed to be this dynamic that is going on between these supposed best friends. And Phaedra, she's like, I told her, talking about Brit, oh, we just want to have fun. And I told her like she's doing too much. Once again, I felt like that was, you guys got to read between the lines when Phaedra says things. Of course, you would say that you want to have fun and all those things, in my opinion, because you just get up here and don't show your true identity. But anyway,
that's what she do. She watches everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm. People watching.
She like serves up things as if she's really giving something, but she's truly not, y'all. You got to just read between the lines. But that was really all they really talked about.
Oh no, they did talk about, Porsha did say that Cynthia's clitoris was introverted as well. Yeah, and I was like, what in the world are y'all talking about right now? And what I do, like, it's so Cynthia to hide up under a sheer. It was like, oh my God. So hiding under something sheer to get away from, the comments that are being made. But if Phaedra says the weirdest things, and nobody needs to know that girl has inverted boobies or nipples. Nobody cares. And why do we need to know that? That's something you guys being in a room are sharing. Y'all oversharing. That's the problem. Everybody's just kind of oversharing. Even when we get down to the end of it, when we get to, so that's another overshare. But yeah, it's too much oversharing, especially when you guys are not really close like that. So it's kind of annoying to watch them kind of talk. And then it's just always sexual. I don't know. It just always feels like it's something sexual going on with them.
Yeah, that's to distract us from the fact that she's not really giving her true life. Is to say something like that, because just like sex sells, like if you say something about like sex or whatever, people are just going to hyper focus on that and forget that, oh, we've never even seen your family for real. We've never even seen your bedroom. Anyway.
It is weird. And then wait a minute. No, didn't we see her house? Wait. Didn't we see her house when
her kitchen?
No, wait. Was that on Marriage and Medicine? Didn't we see her house and they were talking about what was that? Oh, Heavenly, and it was Heavenly and Jackie. And Heavenly was bagging on her house. So what is this modern something? She said there's a whole lot of, oh no, it was a whole lot of thoughts in here.
She's very busy.
And that's literally, I feel like that's her. She's so weird and busy, and the things that come out of her mouth you wouldn't expect, and that's why she make all those faces in her mouth and scrunch her lips up. And she didn't. Never mind. I wouldn't say that because her mouth is just so. Sometimes it's so crooked. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
She irritated me so bad when she said two words. What? It was on the last one when they said, when they was ordering their drinks, and she said something like, somebody said they wanted a whatever drink it was. She was like, "Oh, I would like one of those too." And I was like, "Bitch, who are you fucking for?" In that moment, I was like, "Whoa, whoa, who are you? Who is this?" You make me nervous that you can flip flop and talk. Just like when she starts talking like a pimp, like all these different ways that you talk, it's just like you're adapting so many things and so many people that it's with a real Phaedra. Please stand,
please,
because I don't know who she is.
Exit stage left, please, and don't come back. And I also should have said that Porsha noted too the part about Kelli not backing up Brit. She took notice of it as well. But
my thing, I wanted to touch on that. It's not so much that she needed to take up for her, because Brit is her own person and she can speak for herself. So when people say that, it's like I understand that, but if anything, if what's a little mama name? I can't even think. Kelli. I don't know. Angie kept coming to my name. If Kelli would have said anything, it could have been like, can we just switch the subject? We all gave her, you know, she should have made it lighthearted. But the fact that you was stuffing your face and not even saying anything is a problem. Like everybody was looking at what was going on, and you were like, girl, I don't want to get in it because I really don't want to tell her about herself, because I've been sitting here telling Shamea about her. So if I talk, I'm going to have to really put my money where my mouth is. And that's what happened. And that's why she's stuffing her mouth, because she had been already talking about her. Everybody can see that. So, yeah.
I think you're onto something. Yep. In this next scene, though, y'all, Brit and Kelli, we get a little one-on-one between them about all the things we've kind of been touching on. And Kelli, she starts off by saying, you know, the night, it did start off a little last night, but we were able to turn it around, and it was, you know, it was cool. And she also says how the Shamea situation or the bone that Shamea was picking with Brit and everything, they can all relate to it. That's Kelli's words, y'all, not mine. And she also then turns to telling Brit about her upcoming court date. She has to talk to her attorney today, and this court date, once it happens, her divorce should be final after that. And I was a little thrown off by that, because I thought that her divorce was already final for some odd reason, but maybe that was me just being crazy. Anyway, and she just really like going through a lot with that divorce. As we already know, it makes her super anxious. They need to discuss custody. They need to discuss division of assets. They need to discuss property, et cetera, et cetera. And again, we already know how messy it's been between her and her ex-husband. So she's really just mentally like going through a lot with that. Then the two, they talk about, or I should say, Kelli asks Brit how, you know, she felt about last night. And Brit's like, you know, I felt like some mixed emotions or whatever. And the energy was just different. It was different than it had been. And we, you know, us two have always been good. So when we're talking about the donations and all of that, it really just had me questioning like what was really going on here. And, you know, I don't want you to get in front of everybody and, you know, start, what did she say? She didn't say airing out, but basically she said something that to that effect, like, don't get in front of everybody and start, you know, going in on me pretty much. And you didn't even say anything once again when Shamea was ripping me a new one, but I digress. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but when Kelli responded, she responded as though she wasn't even just talking from her own self as much as she was talking like for Shamea and like, again, for everybody in the group and everything. I just wanted to note that, because I feel like that plays into how Kelli has been showing up lately, as in comparison to how she was showing up in earlier episodes this season. And she's like, you know, I just feel like you have a bigger purpose, Brit. And I think that Shamea, she just wanted you to show up more as a friend. And, you know, when you're talking about your surgery for your whole team in Miami, like, I was trying to understand the point that she was trying to make. And I feel like I do, but nice try.
It don't sound like that's coming from you.
Like didn't sound like you know what you're playing at, Kelli. You're just trying to make it sound nice and dress it up, but none of what she was saying really even made sense when you break it down, y'all. And again, like I said, she was speaking from as if she was speaking from Shamea or somebody else in the group. And so Brit says that she loves Kelli, she loves how she's so giving and everything, but she would just prefer sometimes if she would just show up just herself, not her whole team and everything. And in her confessional, she's like still questioning. She's like, is this about something else? Like, what's really going on here, huh? Is this really about donations? Like, what's up? And again, this is where we kind of start to hear about what may or may not have transpired with the glam team, because we have Kelli and her confessional saying one thing, and then we got Brit and her confessional saying how you know, you're the one talking about your entourage and everything, and how you basically it was actually Kelli that said that Brit apparently hosted her entire like entourage team, her glam team, at her house one day, unbeknownst to her. And again, back to previous episodes, y'all, Brit's speaking from a place of, well, you're the same one that like offered me up to like work with them. So why is that an issue now? She's not understanding how it was cool once upon a time, but fast forward to now, you have these issues and you're talking about, oh, like, what do you want me to give up my gynecologist too? Like, what's going on? But in the moment, quote unquote, they were able to squash it enough to not have this ruin this entire episode. But again, y'all, we do know that these two ladies are not friends currently in real life. And I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're just finally touching on the beginnings of the end for their friendship. What say you?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that in the beginning there was light. Meaning Kelli walked out when Brit got clowned by Kenya. That's how deep Kelli felt about Brit.
What about that baby though?
and then there's that child, because they must have came in there like, we gonna run this, girl. We about to come out in a whirlwind. We are like, we BFF, and we about to go tear down, girl. And Kelli with her big mouth, I know she was all about it. And Brit Eady with her, hey, girl, we about to, girl, wait, cause my body and my nose. And they had a whole cackle kiki about what they was about to do when they get on this show. Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Porsha, I'm going for Kenya. Yeah.
And that's what it was. And we saw that happen. Mm-hmm. And it unfolded a little bit too fast because Brit was too eager with she's coming for my ring. She's coming for my girl. Nobody's coming for your funky ass ring. Nobody gives a damn about your ring. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Girl, nobody cares. And so just from that, we already could tell she was too eager and it was moving too fast. The only problem was you're going against an OG, and not just an OG. When I'm not even talking about the show itself. I'm talking about somebody that can read you, gorgeous, beautiful, successful. Like I don't care what you try to come for Kenya for, girl, you cannot. And I don't even go up for Kenya like that, but you can't come for her like you couldn't on your best day, Brit. You could never, ever, 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 ever could you? Just saying. So getting back to the demise of this relationship, I just feel like Brit's not wrong when she's paying attention to how Kelli is showing up. Now, is the show up, Kelli showing up less for Brittany because she's turning into Shamea's lapdog that we've been saying? Because let's be clear, somebody's going to be twinning, and it ain't going to be no besties of anybody's. Two of them are going to twin out, and it's not going to be no besties of either one of the two separate besties is twinning out in this episode. So, what'd you say?
I said, yeah, I picked that one. That's how it happened.
So literally, it's like it was not just a transition. I don't know. Kelli is feeling a way about Brit, and she's not being forthcoming. Like you said, she's pussyfooting around. She's pussyfooting around and saying, oh, it's everybody else, and this is how they feel. And I'm the messenger, so don't shoot the messenger. Like, girl, tell her how you really feel, because you're lying. That sounded so ignorant to me. Surgery.
Oh, Brit, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who team members were, one, and where the money came from to even pay for said surgeries. I don't believe this. Whatever.
I was watching her husband when she said it, and her husband was looking like, oh, here we go with this story again.
You know, gotta always take it back to also was this like the first episode of the season when she sat down with her family and they were eating the lobster, remember? And the little boy was like, lobster? Oh, what is this about? Or we don't ever eat lobster, or this is fancy, whatever he said.
Yes.
Hey, y'all.
She's fake.
I believe this. Probably, she seems like the type that would do that. Yes. Mm-hmm. Paris, Kelly's ex-stylist, who now styles Brit, no longer follows Kelly on IG. Also, Paris sat in the audience for support when Brit was on Watch Happens Live. Yes, I did see him in the audience, and yes, I did know that. In fact, he is no longer following Kelly and is working with Brit. And
what did Brit tell this man?
That sound like they're in support of Kenya is something else I heard too, but yeah.
I wonder, you know what? It's so much people be talking about people so bad sometimes and never know that they're not gonna fall out, or we kiki. That's why you shouldn't talk about people. I don't care who it is. Don't talk about people, because when you talk about people, you don't know when it'll come back to you. So you gotta be careful.
I think everybody has their ways about them, obviously, but I think in this case, although I feel like the main target has been on Brit's back this season, obviously. In this situation, Kelly might be telling the truth, and like Brit might have some fault in these situations as well, but I'm more so interested in finding out what Kelly's issues are and why she's why the stylist is only working with you now. Did you go around and tell them not to work with her?
Did she say there was a meeting or something? I don't know.
She said that Brit held a meeting, a secret meeting, but I want to say, I don't know if it was the after show or what, but Brit did mention how somebody said, I'm assuming it's Brit then, that she told her team to not work with them. Like she actually did tell them that or whatever. And it was this whole
my thing is, how would she find that out? Like, how would she know that all the style that she had a meeting with everybody, and then what the stylist came and did beat her face down and was like, girl, Kelly, she had a whole meeting with the whole staff and said, we can't work with you, girl. We literally cannot work with you no more, girl. So I don't know what you want to do with that information, but that's how it is. And then that's probably because that just kind of sounds like some weird BS. Nobody, like, literally, I don't know. My thing is, learn how to do your own face. Why do you have to put that much makeup on that you can do your own face? Like, why do you need a stylist? No disrespect to people. There's a time and a place. There's times when you need to get your glam squad up, whatever. Yeah.
I think it depends. Like
too much emphasis on stylists, on being in Atlanta and putting all this makeup on and having a whole glam squad come do your face like that. It's like that. That's cool. Y'all look pretty, but why? How are we doing all that? What is the purpose? What are y'all getting out of paying a lot of money for a day worth of makeup to take off? Or I don't know. I'm different.
Well,
I'm different. I just can't smell it.
Some people just prefer not to do their own stuff and just would rather pay people for convenience or whatever, which I mean, totally fine. Different strokes for different folks. But I don't I'm when it comes to this issue, work with her, don't work with her, whatever. Although I'm definitely not on Kelly's side. I'm not on anyone's side ultimately, but I will say I don't think it's weird though for like if we're both on the show together, I wouldn't think that we would be using the same stylists and stuff like that, the same team, because how are they in there with you and they're supposed to be in here with me? Logistically, I can understand how that might not be something that we would look to do, but I wouldn't hold a meeting or I wouldn't give people ultimatums. Or I also, and I guess to Kelly's point, maybe when she offered up the stylist's services a couple episodes ago or whatever, I did take that as though it was just a one-time thing. But at that point, that's not for you. Like, if ultimately, if the stylist wants to work with multiple people, or if you don't have a exclusivity freaking
contract with them.
like that. That's up to, you can't tell that stylist not to work with other people. That's with their money ultimately. But logistically, I just don't see, how we could have the same team when we're.
But didn't this happen before? Didn't this happen with Drew and Porsha early on in the season?
It did. And I mean, I think obviously that's why I'm saying, like, sometimes I think it can work or whatever, but I understand how more oftentimes than not, it probably doesn't work because we got to be at the same places at the same time or do the same thing. Like, it just would, I would assume that, everybody would have their own team or whatever. But Kelli, yes, you did offer up the person's services. And if you didn't specify to Brit at that time that, hey, it's a one-time thing or whatever, then you really can't be upset. And then you also can't be upset too if the stylist decided, like, no, I'm gonna have multiple clients, not just you.
That's fine. That don't even sound right. Like, I just don't feel like you can have the right to tell somebody they can't have the stylist.
Like, if that's just supposed to be their full-time job, like, I understand if freaking Rihanna's makeup artist she's their only client, or really like doing all these things and stuff like that. I do understand how, like, a person has one stylist, one makeup artist or whatever, has a team dedicated to them, but it depends on how active, of demand somebody's career has, that really will dictate whether or not you need to have a dedicated 24/7 team, or you just need to have somebody on call for, when you do have something booked.
It's just a lot. I don't know. I feel like that's like at the end of, because that's going on right now. Wait, that's going on right now, currently, correct?
I mean, they're not friends currently. The stylist is still working with Kelli. I don't know if it was on the after show, but it got even more weird for me. And that's why I said I'm not on Kelli's team. If this is true, where she was kind of making it seem like it's one thing, you want your dedicated people. Okay, cool. Like I said, I don't have an issue with that. But Brit said something to the effect of, oh, like, she didn't like how, like, the pictures were coming out better, or like basically like Brit, like, was getting done up and was coming out looking better than her, and her content was looking better and whatever. And like, that I don't agree with, because as best friends, I want you to look just as, like, I want us both to look amazing or whatever. I don't want you to look less amazing to make me then now feel like I look better. Like, no, I want us all to look like it's the best day ever for everybody aesthetically. Like, I feel like that's some haters, and that's not real best friends at all. I'm never going to want you to look worse than me and make sure that I look the best. Like, I'm just going to look, I don't even think about other people when I get dressed. I get dressed for me, and I show, and I feel confident, and know that I kill it for me, not because, oh, I want my friend to look worse than me. Like, no, I want us all to show up, and we have our own styles, and we do it differently, and et cetera, et cetera. But if you have some type of insecurities, then maybe that's why you would want people around you to look not as nice as you.
Yeah, but that's just weird. We're friends, and my makeup stylist is coming over. It's gonna take about an hour. I can say they can come over earlier, so they can you just have to come over here and we can do a double up. I don't see what's the problem with that. And how does that go? How does that happen? And then now all of a sudden, oh, don't go to Kelli. I mean, don't go over to Brit's house. Don't be y'all my style. It's like, what? Why? Like,
hey, why? I mean, but is this true though? Because doesn't she have doesn't she owe somebody right now? Is there a lawsuit? So, hi, Feisty. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all right. You're always late, but worth the wait, baby.
Yeah, like, I think, like, if I was to be on this show today, I mean, it's different for me, I guess, because, like,
yeah, me too. That's what I think. See,
like I went to school to be able to do those types of things, so I like doing my makeup and stuff like that. But I understand too how even, you know, sometimes you don't want to be bothered with it or whatnot. For like the reunion, I would probably get a team and stuff. And for like certain events and stuff, like Princess said, of course. But on this trip that they were on, no, I probably wouldn't have brought my team. I would have had some knotless braids or some faux lock something in my head. Did my own makeup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, for the amount of money that they spend, I would hope that they know how to do a little bit of their own makeup, because I feel like that happened with Porsha and Drew. I feel like one of them said, "Oh, they only had so much time, so they had to kind of do them." They did some of their own makeup, but however, that's just probably the little underline that just was, a little bit of what kicked it off, but. I don't know. They don't act like best friends. I don't feel nobody. I don't feel like Brit is really what's the word? Oh my gosh, my brain just went blank. Not security, but like looking out for Kelli on the trip. They're not looking out for each other on the trip. This trip they weren't looking out for each other.
Well, Brit is not. You can tell based on just like just watching it, you can tell that Brit is not. She's not fitting into the group. Like she's not hitting it off with anybody for real. She's kind of like just on her own like thing. And yes, it wasn't as noticeable in the beginning because yes, Kelli was over there with her until she decided not to be, and now it's even more obvious now that she's on an island alone because there's just no more Kelli, at least to shield that. I'm assuming Kelli did that and was cool with her until she found some quote unquote cooler people to be with.
I agree with that. That's what it's literally giving. Kelli is like, okay, we're like in a part of the cool team.
Right, like her closet's bigger. Let me go be friends with her, like, which is shallow, but whatever. Kelli is obviously insecure.
Oh, child. You know what she looked like, and what you saying? Face. She looks like Tamar.
I can see that,
and
be like one of their like second cousins or something.
Definitely looks like she could be one of their cousins or part of their family or with their old face. Never mind. I say with their old face.
This, and I hate to go in on her like this, y'all, because like I really was liking Kelli.
Definitely.
I followed her and everything. Like I was really going up for her until she just started to be Lapdog Junior. Like I don't think that's not giving, but let's finish up this episode, y'all. So and her Brit saying that Kelli uses the people around her like as a shield and stuff. I can't wait to jump more into this at the reunion, hopefully. Oh no, we won't. What am I talking about? Brit wasn't there. Yep. Anyway, moving right along. The ladies, they begin going outside around the pool area. We noticed right off the bat, Kelli and Shamea are matching. Like you said, I wish I would have had that picture. I don't. Sorry. But they were matching. And I want to say by now, Shamea's bags did actually show up because I was like confused about that. I was like, wait, so you don't have your bags, but you still got the matching outfit in your carry-on? Like out of everything that you brought, somehow that matching outfit ended up in your carry-on. Too coincidental, but no. Apparently your luggage did show up, I guess.
Well, why didn't you tell us that? Because y'all made such a big deal about it. Why wouldn't y'all show us like, I finally got my luggage?
No, they didn't like make it. They should have made it a moment, of course. Like I would have thought that would have opened with her, like open the door and be like, "Oh, my luggage," as the person's, bringing it in or something. Like that's usually how they do those types of things. So.
Right.
But we didn't get that. We didn't get a lot of stuff on this trip, as we've been saying.
The lackluster of it all.
Angela, she was so funny, commenting on the fact that they're matching, talking about, Brit is gonna be mad when she sees them, and I am going to be here for it, honey.
And I thought it would have been Porsha, but go ahead. I thought it was.
Getting passed around. They're all in agreement that last night was a time that was much needed. Everybody was getting along, as I said before. Porsha and Drew were even getting along. And was that Drew dancing on Porsha, or it was a lot of ass around, y'all. Sorry, I don't remember.
All donkey booties.
But I'm pretty sure at one point in time during the nighttime, everybody's got on everybody else's at least once, I'm sure. But where's Brit? Interesting. Remember how I just said on the island alone? Yeah, Mama was not outside with them for a good little minute. Randall, the dude that the chairman of the Grenada's tourism authority, he dropped by on the ladies, and he's the one that helped coordinate with like the donations and all that stuff. He was the point of contact that Kelli had and everything. He drops by, and of course the ladies were taking in the sites that he brought with him. I don't know who said he looked like a brown skin Apollo. I don't know if I read that online or what, but somebody said that, and I was like, I saw that, but
not giving Apollo. I didn't see Apollo in there.
Phaedra still being very sexual energy, very weird, very odd, just wanting to like flirt and be raunchy. Yeah, she was on that type of time still. But jab. It started off as a form of protests, and it refers to a vibrant cultural tradition, particularly prominent in Grenada, and it's during carnival celebrations. I want to go to.
Oh my girl, don't get me started.
One time, I've been
I gotta go.
To go for so long, and it's never happened, but I need to go. I
want to go. I think that was because I really, one of my aunties did the little DNA test, and we thought we were more Mexican than we were, and we're not. We're more like South Metro. I'm more Portugal. So I need to get over there. I got to get over there.
Oh, word.
Treating Brit how Porsha treat. Literally.
Wild.
That's why they're getting along so well, because they both doing the same thing. But anyway,
can't
trust nobody that calls themselves a chef girl. But
I'm like, can she cook or can she not? Because the kids, I don't.
When she said chef, I said, girl, you cook the same thing. That's like saying McDonald's is a restaurant.
I mean, she does have a food spot, right? Is there what? And the thing is, before she like started to piss me off, I would have bought her cookbook. I love a cookbook, but I don't think I want it no more because
I
can't trust you.
Girl, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm pretty sure
some had to. Yeah. It's too much booty grabbing for me.
It's on their upper lip, I'm pretty sure. Yes, and so am I. Angela wasn't upset by anything Angela did on this trip. She's fine.
Yes.
But again, y'all, they're all out by the pool and everything. Everybody's still getting along for the most part. Everything is well until Kelli has to break away to have her call with her attorney, as we said before. But before she does that, her and Drew actually share a moment and empathize with one another because apparently their anniversary is on the same day. Go figure. And she's just telling her about how, Drew was just telling her about how it would have been their 10-year anniversary this year and everything. And this moment for me really just solidified that these were two ladies that really should have came together this season to be of support for one another. But instead, Kelli, you decided to jump into somebody else's bullshit and try to instigate and start things and speak on things that you had no business speaking on when it comes to this lady and her divorce and everything. You should be the main person that was coming to Drew's support for everything. Miss, like, oh, you went through all of this, and it's not to trivialize anything that she went through, y'all. So don't take it as if I'm poking fun or making light of anything that Kelli's gone through. I'm not at all. But again, if you are coming on here saying that you've had to spend nights in the closet, you got a restraining order on this man, you walking around with fucking security, then I would just think that you would find it in your heart to have some level of sympathy for somebody who's also going through an ugly ass divorce. But no, instead you decided to be Lapdog Junior, and that's why I'm ending this season not really fucking with you. But go ahead.
Sister, can you tell us how you really feel? I mean,
like that's I can't. She pissed me off. Like she should.
I agree.
Wrong, but
we both like Kelli. We did.
You fell for the bullshit, and you could have took the Angela route, but you decided not to. Like, there's so many different routes. Obviously, you could take, y'all. There's so many housewives. She took a whole different approach than she needed to take, in my opinion. But
I told you it's the money. I told you.
Other than Brit, though, she is still on good enough terms, though, with everybody else in the group, though. So, if there is a next season, I will say, like, she's obviously more than likely going to come back. I will say that, but I'm upset. Like, I wanted to end this season more excitedly, saying, yes, I can't wait for it to come back next season and for Kelli to come back. But right now, I'm like, I can't even say that. I can't even look at her right now. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, she started off strong because, you know, even with the daughter's birthday parties and the 17 bags and the, you know, that was housewife-ish, you know, and even just dressing up and just different things. Kelli was bringing it for a minute, but then I don't know, she started feeling, I don't know what, just, I don't know, maybe that's her true colors. Maybe, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it because I'm trying to think back of what I do. It's not even what exactly made me not like her no more. It's not even that I don't like her. It's just that I don't know if I know Kelli like I really want to know her. I feel like she's been fronting for us, and now that she's like cool with Shamea and them dressing like, well, who came up with that idea? Who said, girl, we gonna dress alike, girl? And I don't care. Our besties just is gonna have to figure it out for themselves. Like, who does that? And Shamea, in your brain, what you and your bestie just, I got my bestie, I got my best. You got your bestie back, but you weren't twinning out with somebody other than your bestie. Y'all shouldn't do it either. But why are y'all dressed alike? Y'all not family. Y'all not. This is not like a T-shirt that y'all got made that says something on it. This is y'all went and bought matching bathing suits. What are y'all doing?
They
don't does that.
They don't
That's
know.
silly to me.
They don't know. But taking things over to Porsha and Shamea, Porsha also uses this time to, because there was a hat earlier that I didn't even mention, but Porsha had this big old hat, and she was going to go outside and take pictures, whatever. But in this moment,
new meaning to straw hat. New meaning to a straw hat.
There is this really big sun hat that like I've had in my cart for like forever, and this seeing her with that on just made me think like, oh, I should go buy that hat. Anyway, actually I should, because I might get a lot of use out of that soon.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
I can actually buy it now.
Yes, you have a reason. You have a reason. Exceed it.
I'll find out soon. Y'all find out soon.
Yes, yes. Announcements to be made.
For now, Shamea is going to be donning the hat because Porsha is allowing her bestie to wear it and look. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. Shamea looked amazing. Like, I'm sure those pictures came out amazing. But I was like, really, Porsha? Like, I my heart didn't get warm. Shamea's did, but my heart didn't, because, like, girl, whatever. And she's like introducing the Queen of Kenya and came out and took our pictures. Phaedra's being all extra with the camera and everything. Y'all watch the episode. You know exactly what I'm referring to when I say she was being extra.
You think Porsha did that because she didn't want to see them twinning them?
No, that's funny. Because she did go back inside and put on a black bathing suit instead. That's wild. Probably because this is also when Kelli like was going to go make her a phone call. She was probably like, ooh, let me like make her go in here and change it.
They switch her out.
You think they probably didn't even get any like pictures together or anything yet before then, and she changed her bathing suit probably by the time that Kelli came back. So that's some Porsha shit. Yep.
She's so undermining. Yes, she's undermining.
How it happened.
Yes.
Inside though, y'all, Kelli, like I said, she's talking to her attorney. And I mean, obviously we weren't going to hear the whole conversation or anything, but I'm assuming more actual concrete things were said, because the only thing she really brought up was about, again, that the next court date should mark no pun intended, should mark the officially ending the marriage. The divorce should be final. But she does tell her attorney about some land that they had purchased, which was technically gifted to her as an anniversary gift from him or whatever. Apparently, she caught wind that he may have sold this to a friend, so she really needs to look into that and, you know, locate that deed and all that. So he's still actively doing stuff to undermine and make her life harder and to be just a piece of shit to her, apparently. So
did he cheat on her? Do we know why they're divorced?
We didn't hear anything about that.
Okay. I'll just ask him.
Probably because that's another thing too, and it's not to shame anybody on their looks, y'all, because I mean, nobody can help how they come out looking. But that man is not anything I would break my neck to look at. I'm pretty sure I speak for all of us in here right now when I say that. Most of us. I know I speak for my sis here. Definitely not breaking any necks over here.
I'm definitely taller than him, so.
And so I feel like that's always the ones that be trying to like cheat on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like
look, now we all know Kelli is not tall. She's like Princess said, she's about 4'11".
So he's
probably got on some 3-inch heels. That put her at like 5'2". And look where he at. Look where he at. No, he's little too. And he round. Roundish. You know what he reminds me of in this suit? You know, in the Beetlejuice, the one that marries the Beetlejuice. What that was?
I'm dead.
The shortness of him and the straight shoulders. Yeah.
Like those pants, I guess I couldn't do that. I would come out and
those pants was way too baggy. What is going on?
Into the aisle and I would just walk out and see that and just turn back around. Like y'all go home. There's no wedding today. Like I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Anyway, but that's how her phone call went, y'all. I'm sure we're gonna obviously hear more about this at the reunion of like, what was to come with everything, or if we don't hear it before the reunion,
right?
Because we still have like an episode or two to go. But it is now almost time for jab, y'all. All the ladies ready. Shamea's this is when she says her luggage finally came. Which would then mean, wait, so was that matching outfit in the carry-on?
I'll tell you, they be out of order, sister. Don't.
That's crazy.
They be out of order. They will show us something and then they'll put it somewhere else and then it'll be.
Because you're really about to have me like calling Shamea some more names, but I'll back up then because it might be that it. Okay. Cynthia, she was talking to her man and telling him how she has
Amsterdam
comes. She did these like pigtail hair condom things so her hair didn't get messed
up. Still basically put some socks on it. That's what it looked like.
It still got messed up though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She said so.
They all needed. I'm gonna tell you what would have got everything all out. And if they would have from head to toe, some Dawn. They needed some Dawn.
Helps everything.
Man, do you see the commercial with the Dawn with the little ducky that was stuck in the oil?
Literally
clean the little duck off. But that's what we used to use in the hair salon.
Oil
if you come in the salon with too much oil in your hair and we washing and it's still oily, child, we breaking out the Dawn. That was before the Dawn or the lemon fluff. Dawn or the lemon fluff.
I clean my jewelry with Dawn.
Dawn is the best. That
got
stuff is.
pepper sprayed. I use Dawn to clean my face.
Wait, what? That does your face that clean? I mean, it should. It cuts everything.
The skin, yeah.
Oh
I
God.
used baby shampoo, the Johnson & Johnson shampoo for my eyes, but I remember dish out there. Like,
yikes! I don't even want to know about that. But that's another story for another day.
That's military training, y'all. I didn't get locked up or anything crazy.
I was like, who am I about to go beat?
Never again. But Cynthia, yeah, she's talking to her man. Usually Jab Jab starts at 5 a.m., but since the ladies are in town right now, they are going to be doing it that night and everything, which I thought was awesome. Kelli and Shamea, they even did a little promo video, you know, being the best friends that they claim to be at this point in time. So they're all heading off. Everybody's ready. And before they get there, though, they were in the Sprinter talking about, like, you know, more sexually explicit things and how they need their man to be all obsessed with them and all over them and sucking toes and the whole nine. That's pretty much the gist of that. Whatever.
Stuff just keep to yourself, people. Go ahead.
I was like, okay.
I think it's so sexy when he puts my whole foot in his mouth. What? He puts your what in his what? And you think it's what? Are you saying? Are you listening to yourself say that to yourself?
Who said that
again? Brit said that about the one that's already her husband, who's already questionable.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, it's one thing if, like, I don't know. I don't be like just airing out everything that me and my husband do. No, because I don't think that that's appropriate. But even if I was single, I mean, I probably would be more open.
Oh yeah, if I was single,
even right now, I would be like, we could have these conversations or whatever. I just wouldn't probably talk about.
Oh, I didn't even see that. No, so cute. Oh my goodness.
Say hi.
It's a girl or boy?
It's a boy. His name is.
Oh, he's so cute. What's his name? So cute.
Yeah. Hi, Leo. Say hi.
Leo is so freaking cute, man.
He is. He just.
He a puppy, huh?
He turned 1 a couple months ago.
So he on the go.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my little baby right there.
Much so.
You are so cute. Your eyes are so cute.
All good. But yeah, like I don't. I just wouldn't focus on me and him. But yeah, I mean, if someone's asked me a question, I'm not going to act like I've never done adult activities before. Like, we're all grown. But anyway, so they arrive again from head to toe, oil all over, fire breathers, grinding, gyrating, dry humping, doing all the things.
All of it. Dry humping, get laid out on a car, get laid out.
They hopped on the truck, getting oiled down by random men. It was a lot going on. But this is Jab Jab. It looked like it was a good time. Looks like it was a once in a lifetime experience. I mean, that's obviously you're from there and do it all the time. But for someone traveling there like me, that would be an experience, definitely. But of course, y'all probably not surprised to know that Porsha was crowned the queen of Jab Jab. So not surprised there at all. Why was Shamea's vagina out in the confessional? I don't know. Again, just doing too much all the time.
And I didn't get the joke. I didn't get what she was talking about. I was feeling like, I was like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? Girl. Shamea is too much sometimes.
Yeah, she is too much and not enough all at the same time.
All at the same time.
But final scene, y'all. Next morning, or well, not the next morning, but it's now fully morning. Jab Jab paraphernalia in the house. Nothing but black stains and discarded articles of clothing and the hat, which I would have kept mine, but that's just me.
Me too, girl.
Back, like I purposely can't like.
Give me a plastic bag. Give me my hat. It's going on the carry-on. I'm taking my hat.
I always take an empty suitcase like all the time when I travel places for stuff like this. Like, I will wear it in there. I would have wore it in the airport. Like it's coming back. I'm leaving. Like Porsha said in the beginning, I am leaving here with something. That's the something I would have been leaving with.
Sure.
Like, sure. But anyway, they're all they've all been scrubbing their bodies up and down, trying to get all this oil out of all the nooks and crannies,
cracks and crevices.
Yes. And we even had Brit offering her assistance to Phaedra, apparently. I'm not even gonna say anything more about that because y'all already know. I've hit it a couple times on this freaking live. We know how we feel about Phaedra and her antics. That's weird, but okay. And don't get me wrong, like if this was you and me and like you could not reach your back, like I would like
reach my back and get in my crack, bend over and cough. I'm not. What are you talking about?
Like, I'm a girl's girl, like y'all. Like I mean, it's the way that it's doing those things. Like I got your back, trust me. But I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I just washed Cutie's ass. Like
it just don't even sound right. I'll be like, as soon as you start going to girl, I got it. I can do that part. My arm reach right there, girl. I can get this part.
Why would I why? No, like.
But I can see Brit in there, like, girl, girl, I got you. All this ass, girl, I got you.
We've also
girl, I'm gonna get immediately uncomfortable. Wait, what?
That part right there. That part right there. That
to have fun. It was nowhere near like.
Oh,
none of that.
For sure, princess.
I know. I guess. Wait, were they the hostess? Maybe it was the hostess thing. Okay.
Whatever.
I forgot that he was beating on her. See, that's why she got security.
Did she say that? No, she said that she got the security because he threatened to unalive her. But
but I think she
literally, if they had if he was abusing her like that, I don't know if that's ever been confirmed. I'm curious though. Like I don't want to just make that assumption. But I can understand why we would just make that assumption based on the stuff that she said. So I need her to definitely come out and say that if it is. Well, I mean,
she probably had a gag order. You know, she couldn't talk about him on the show that much.
It's crazy. That was a ripped up her slut.
Slutastic.
Someone should have. That's with. I was talking about the hat. She could have the genitals. All I came from the hat, but okay.
Man, literally.
But yeah, y'all. They're all packing up. Everybody's clean for the most part, give or take. And Kelli tells them about how her rose quartz crystal actually broke this morning. After she got up from talking to her attorney, it broke, which we find out. Well, I already heard this. I already knew this, but she says that when that happens, if a crystal breaks or anything like that, then you have to then return it back to the earth and everything. So she asked the ladies to support her in tossing it into the ocean. So that, and as she's saying that, she's also saying how she wants this to continue back in Atlanta, this sisterhood thing and everything. And based on how it's edited, y'all already know, like she's saying all nice and all this or whatever, but insert what's really going to happen clip here, which fast forward to these last couple of episodes, it looks like we're going to really get into it once they get back in Atlanta and all the mess that is to come from there. As we said in the beginning, though, this episode, it wasn't terrible, but it definitely wasn't the bang that I would have liked to see the trip ending off of, I was still very bored. In terms of it like being the cast trip of the season.
Right.
Left something to be desired for me, because honestly, like, what activities they even do? They was at the pool at the house here, like, which by all means, it doesn't always need to be like we're doing all like things.
They didn't even get on a boat or a yacht, huh? They didn't. Did they do a boat trip? Yeah, no.
I thought.
I don't think so, huh?
No, they did. Remember, they split off. Half of them did a
waterfall. Yeah.
Everybody's house, plantation, yard or whatever, outside cooking. They did that. And then the other half just went to the waterfall. Was they didn't really like do anything for real. Like, they didn't even go shopping.
We didn't go to the locals. Yeah, we didn't get the local. Well, they can cook food, but yeah, they didn't go shopping, see the people, other than the oiled up people when they were.
Rum distillery. Rum is big there, obviously. So, but there was no thing they could have did. Yeah, where are the catamarans? Like,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, because when they show the view. When they showed their view, that's what we saw. Catamarans, the ocean. That's what we saw. That's what I was
there with the prime minister. But that was
that was cool. But even still, that was a night job, and night at night, and that was. They did get glammed up, but that was it. Like, literally, that was it.
It was maybe, I guess they were supposed to be doing something more amazing the night that Shamea got the phone call and stuff, I guess. No, they were going back home anyway. But they came back out, but decided not to. I don't know. Not enough happened, y'all.
Yeah.
Getting at, not enough happened. We still apparently have at least like 2 more episodes of the season. So hopefully we pick it up, and hopefully that gets me excited for going into the reunion, because as we already
it didn't say finale. It didn't say finale. You're right. It didn't say finale. You're right.
This week, and then next
week.
That's
where we get chicken and waffles is the next one that comes up. That's what it said on the.
So it's I wonder if it's her restaurant opening.
Yeah, it said that the next one I think is entitled Chicken and Waffles. Whatever I was online and looked up. Because last week, remember when I joined you last week, I was late, so I went and did my description.
Kelli and Charles Oakley face off cooking chicken and waffles. For Angela throws a wrench in the fire that may affect her. Phaedra throws an event for one of her many businesses. Things come to a head between Kelli and Brit. Ooh. So no, it doesn't say anything about her.
No, nothing about her restaurant.
But let's just quickly, before we end this, y'all, let's touch on the Porsha and Simon of it all.
Yes, Princess, you gonna be in Atlanta? Yes, go check it out next week and report back.
Go live.
When I go, I'm going to go check it out. I don't know if I think I know my grandbaby's out here from Georgia, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to take her back or if her mom is coming to pick her up. But if I take her back, then I'm definitely gonna go check it out.
Porsha, Simon and Porsha, where are you?
Simon.
I mean, he's like, he's all smiles every single time I've seen him, and these photos they're posting, he's all smiles, which is like, it just makes me just shake my head even more.
Cringe.
This man. Computer, why are you acting like this? Why are you acting like this? What is going on? Sorry, y'all. My computer is not being my friend right now. And I don't know why. Okay. Which I feel like we touched on this last week. I think when I was like, oh wait, they're supposed to have court like tomorrow. Well, tomorrow came and went, y'all. And I wanted to see if I can play the audio, because there was some like courtroom audio, but I don't.
Tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Yeah. Why?
I was looking at adding a shift to my job, and because when I be working overnight, I be putting the wrong thing, so I just want to make sure that I did the right thing.
Oh. Okay, here we'll just go with this one. Whatever. My reality tea. Simon Guobadia deported, Porsha Williams big divorce court money win details. And again, shout outs to Reality T. Simon Guobadia keeps getting bad news after bad news. The former husband of Porsha Williams has left the United States and is now facing another loss in court. The couple chose to divorce and have since been dealing with a very messy settlement hearing. But P had a big win the other day. Here's what we know. After spending months at Stewart Detention Center in Lumpkin, Georgia, the sketchy businessman has been deported from the United States. Simon was first taken into custody back in February of 2025. The 61-year-old was put on a flight a few days ago, U.S. Weekly reported. Simon's business partner, Ty Savette, shared that Simon was in good spirits even after an extremely uncomfortable experience at the ICE facility. The Nigerian is no longer listed as being housed by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. The outlet also obtained a photo of Simon, who was smiling. Porsha's former lover looked as if he had lost weight and was wearing a red shirt when he left the facility. I want to read the here. On June 11th, Porsha and Simon's court battle was allowed to continue. The duo has been fighting over the enforcement of their current prenup. The documentation was signed before they walked down the aisle. The hearing had been postponed multiple times. This was mainly due to Simon having been taken into ICE custody and finally deported. Real Housewives of Atlanta fans will recall that Porsha was the first to file for divorce after just 15 months of marriage in her divorce petition. Okay, where is
the money? Show us the money.
Okay. He learned that he would be ordered to pay her $40,000 a month in alimony. On top of that, he also had to grant Porsha ownership of the couple's Rolls Royce. The podcast host noted Porsha Williams won in divorce court. A judge ruled to enforce her prenup with her ex, Simon Guobadia. Now that is a huge deal because they've been going back and forth over several things, including the home that she currently lives in, the car, the Rolls Royce. According to the host, Porsha will now receive monthly payments of $40,000 from Simon for 14 to 15 months. She will also have all of her legal fees covered. There was also a decision about their $7 million marital home. The judge noted she has until 2027 to decide whether or not she would like to sell the house or keep living in it. But because the residence was a premarital asset of Simon's, she will have to refinance and buy Simon out of his portion if she chooses to continue living at that address. It was revealed that Simon has 50% equity in the property. Simon was also told that he would be paying any expenses related to the home, which includes the mortgage. And I also want to touch on this that came through as well. Porsha Williams says she paid Simon Guobadia's child support while he was detained by ICE. Shout outs to Essence. Porsha Williams may have filed.
Why would you do that when he's the moneymaker? Why would? How could? What? Wait, what? That ain't what?
That
don't even make sense.
Yes, I paid his child support for his two sons. I also paid maintenance for the house outside of utilities, said Williams. When the judge asked the Real Housewives of Atlanta star why extended that help to her ex, she explained that she wanted to help since Guobadia was detained. I really got concerned being that Simon was detained. I'm still married to him at the end of the day. And I just really felt it was unfortunate that they weren't getting any help. The mother had reached out to my assistant and said she was concerned. When I spoke up to her, she made me aware that it had not been paid. I paid his child support.
I like what Princess said, with his money.
Yeah, like I would I would facilitate the transaction, but yeah, I mean that anyway. So there you have it, y'all. What do we have to say about this?
Oh, when you are married to America, I don't think so. I don't think that works no more. Because I've heard stories where now even people that you go show them your green card, you go show them like, oh, come to the office, and they still deport you. Like, so what? I'm like, wait, what is going on? So, I don't know. Just because he's married to her ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Or maybe they weren't married long enough. We have to be married to her a certain amount of time, and they didn't know each other very long either. So maybe it was a certain amount of time that he needed to be with her and then be married as well. Maybe.
I'm not about to be like, oh yeah, Porsha, you won, you did that, girl, and be like, oh yeah, because no, this still should have never happened, and that doesn't overshadow the dumb just wild things you did, especially BJ being on this man's lap. Just you did a lot of stuff with this, so I can't even be like, okay, cool, you won, you dodged a bullet. No, because ultimately she still.
Why did she get her teeth redone? These teeth look good right here. The teeth that's in her mouth right now were too big. In the beginning of the season, they were like too big.
She needs to sell that house.
Yes, she does. Show me that.
Because, and this is something that we kind of already had been speculating and had already been being said that, if everything all breaks down in her favor, then she if it was him that used his money to pay for the house and everything like that, she's still going to be coming off though if they sell it, because she didn't put any money in on it, and they're still going to have to divide it 50-50. So I mean, that was stupid on his. All this was just terrible. But these are
it's actually that's what you get. That's what you get.
I'm saying these are the terms that you agreed on, so I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for anybody, because these are the terms that y'all agreed on, and ultimately, you got what you got, Porsha. He got what he got, and
you think she's gonna get her money?
Played each other. No, that's the thing, and it didn't say it in this article, but there's between the U.S. and Nigeria, that's not an enforceable thing. So more than likely, probably not. She's probably not going to get that money, but and I mean, I'm like, on one hand, so he's still supposed to be paying who's been paying the mortgage this whole time?
I thought she was paying it. That's no. I mean,
so even since February, I wonder, because he's not paying his child support, quote unquote, because he was locked. He was right. So then he wouldn't be paying the mortgage then either. So I wonder if she's been paying it since at least February then.
I think she had been.
Curious about that. And that I had read too, that even while they were dating, he was still giving her $30,000 a month apparently. So I think ultimately she needs to get rid of that house, buy something smaller that's still as nice but smaller, and thank God that this is all that she had to endure and stuff like this, because it could have been way worse, but ultimately these are the terms that y'all agreed on, so I don't feel bad for him at all. I don't think that she's going to really get the money, but I guess we'll see.
But I mean, she got to 2027 for him to do something with that house. So ultimately, she's
going to ride it out until then.
Yeah.
I would wait. I would drag my feet to be able. No, and y'all, this is if I was someone like her. This is not me talking from me today.
Yes.
Y'all, somebody is always thinking something. But anyway, I would drag my feet because at that point I'm living for free. Then you paying for this, so I might as well drag it out, stack my money while you're covering the bills over here still. And then sell it right at the end there, and take that money and sell off into the sunset. That's what I would do. She'd be crazy to buy him out and then continue to then still pay that
mortgage.
I was looking for the audio because that's where you heard how much she like made and everything on the Real Housewives and everything. Porsha. But ultimately, she better hope that things continue to kind of go in her favor, because I don't see this. There's still a chance that he's gonna just jump back online and start, up his antics. So I hope she's been enjoying a little bit of peace. She's been
really though.
Oh, since he's been locked up.
For real, because he's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
He like talking.
Very much so, y'all. But that's how it all shook. I don't really got anything else. That's pretty much it. It's pretty much it. Unless you got something.
Can't think of nothing right this second, but I'm sure we'll come back next week like, remember when we couldn't think of it and I wanted to say.
Probably.
I had a good time, of course.
No, I did too, y'all. Or I did too, sis. And I enjoyed you guys in the chat as always. Thank you for the 51 people that are currently watching. I hope you guys have liked, subscribed, commented, shared, did all the things. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. I'm about to go watch the Real Housewives of Miami.
Oh, it started.
Yes, it did. I wish you were watching. Y'all go and spam her comments and tell her she needs to be watching it.
I don't put it on. Wait, it came on tonight. I can't go watch it downstairs, but I can watch it on Peacock tomorrow. Oh no, I can watch. I actually can start. You told me to watch 2 seasons back, right? 1 season back, 2 seasons back.
From season 6, I think. What season are they on right now? I want to say season Housewives of Miami season 7. So watch 4, 5. Yeah, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, I can do that in my bedroom. I'll watch that on Peacock today since I just already told you I just redid my Peacock, so we good. So because I think even Erica says she liked Miami too.
Miami's good. Miami's good. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I enjoyed y'all. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share, follow us on socials because they've been scrolling along the bottom. And yeah, we'll see you next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.